Welcome. Geekshow
back?
Helpdesk.
Guess who's back?
Right here.
Back again.
Founder
Slim.
of the In-Between himself, Lando.
Very found. We
Did
get
you
this.
miss me? I missed you guys. I listened to the show,
Shady's
and
back.
I like James, but I like me better.
All right, this is Geekshow Helpdesk, where we talk about tech, gadgets, and science-related things. Let's introduce our panelists. Over here, next to me, we got Small Squatch. He's
Hey.
Jaren.
I am Small Squatch. Jaren, you can find me on Blue Sky at Jeronius, or on Geekshow Arcade, where I like to talk about video games.
There we go. Founder of the In-Between, it's Lando.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. My name is Lando. I provide the comedic relief in a very sane manner, not random. I don't bring ad reads to the show. Like, I'm not going to bore you with that nonsense. Like, I'm here for you guys. I provide content. I'm the founder of the In-Between. My name's Lando.
Can we? I'm going to give you a little TARS moment here. Can we get about 70% more sexy there?
Ooh, yeah.
Come on.
My
Say-
name's Lando.
Just say.
I enjoy
the
long walks on the beach.
This
He
is
said
romantic.
Taking
more.
my shirt off in the sun.
Yeah.
He said more sexy.
Yeah, 70% more sexy, not romantic. Come on, show
Not
some
less
smut.
sexy.
Like, hey.
I do read the
If you were
those kind of
James,
books
your
sometimes.
shirt would be off right now. Come on.
But I'm better, so it's staying on, baby.
Like if you
It's
come to the
staying on.
in-between, so will I.
Hey,
Done.
it's Owen.
Hey, everybody. Making it awkward. With some
Letter
sexy
bait
voicage.
than feather.
Letter bait and thever.
Yeah.
It's been a day, but I'm here. I reserved all my energy just for this. You can find me here, usually just listening to Jaren and Tony talk about games and
That's me.
Lando and waiting for the in-between. I'm as much of a listener as I am a creator. So that's where you can find me here, and probably ignoring you on Xbox because I'm horrible. Tell you what, though, we have a great host. His name's Tony.
I also ignore things on Xbox. That's right. Check me out on Blue Sky at Quad T. I haven't opened Twitter on a mobile device in like 3 weeks, so I
How does it feel? How does it feel?
feels fine.
Is
Feels
it
so good,
protesty?
right?
Is it protesty, or are you past the grieving stage?
I was already basically
Kinda one
out
foot
of
out
there
the
by
door,
the time
yeah.
he went full salute.
Yeah.
And so that was just kind of the final nail in the coffin. It's like, I haven't even used this for 2 weeks.
And
Why do I have it?
I think the error I made is I thought the salute was the peak it could go.
Nope.
And over the last week, it's just gotten so much worse.
It hasn't got worse from a Nazi perspective.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it has gotten worse from a this guy.
Everything
has
else.
way too much
Like-
sway and.
Even if he did nothing else, he'd be like, at least he's not a Nazi.
Oh wait!
Oh,
Oh, can't even prove that anymore.
can't even say that's not true
Yeah.
fully. Anyway,
All
Neither here
right.
nor there.
Let's check out any emails. Do we have any emails?
Yeah, we do.
Look at
yay! Thanks for writing in.
Subject line: Should I switch? What do you think he's talking about?
He's gonna go to freaking Mac OS or a MacBook Pro.
iPhone.
iOS or Android.
You guys are right. Owen's wrong. Sorry.
Oh,
I realize this question may receive some biased responses, but I want to
Yep.
ask anyway. I've been using Android since the beginning of smartphones and have had zero
Yeah,
interest
baby.
in changing to iPhone.
don't need to.
The only Apple product I
Bias right
have
there.
is an Apple TV 4K. Because that is the best set-top box in my opinion because it doesn't have ads. Rant over.
agreed.
However, I drive a lot with my current job and need as much hands-free operation as possible. I currently have a Samsung S24 Ultra.
I don't.
Unfortunately, with its awful Gemini, Google at best is ignoring the problem with Google Assistant and at worst actively making the issues worse in an attempt to push Google to Gemini. Google being Google, not including the Gulf of America BS. I will say things like dial phone number and it will respond, okay, who do you want to call? You say the phone number again, and it seems like it's confused on what you were asking. You ask to dial someone from your directory, and it will respond, okay, who do you want to call? You repeat the name, and it says, okay, then goes back to the main screen without doing anything.
That
Sounds
is
like-
so. Yeah, that's
Sounds
accurate.
like Apple Intelligence isn't the only dumb assistant out
I
there.
was gonna say, if you want to trade because of Apple
Um,
Intelligence being better than that,
It
it's
works on the
not-
fundamentals, though. It
Yeah,
sucks on,
it's-
like,
So,
rando
I-
questions.
I've never
but-
had that problem. I do the same thing in the car. I say, "Hey, call Dad," and Siri does the thing.
Yeah.
and it works perfect.
It's great at, like, setting reminders, calling people, asking for music, taking notes, whatever. It sucks at, like, who is the founder of KFC? You know, Sucks
The
at that
kernel.
Hands-free, it sucks. Non-hands-free, it'll actually pull up Google search results. I'm not sure if intelligence is different because I don't have that.
stuff.
me
It
just tell you, it's the-
attempts to
Is
do
that
stuff.
is that his email? Is that the?
No.
Oh.
These are the most mild issues, many others causing frustration and potential dangerous driving issues. I am wondering if it's worth switching to iPhone now. There are a lot of items that I dislike about Apple, including its petty response to losing lawsuits in Europe. I agree. How it treats its app partners. I agree. Not allowing sideloading. I agree. And of course, how integrated I am with Android and Samsung. What are your thoughts? Bixby isn't useful because I have to push a button to open her up. Bixby's a her? Interesting. And I don't have much
Probably
faith
cheese.
in its integration to Android Auto. Should I take the plunge?
Take
So
the plunge into
here-
the Pixel
Here are
because
Nope. Not the
Eh,
wrong
the
answer.
Google OS.
Owen, okay, we're taking turns here.
We're going to take
Okay,
turns.
sorry,
you
go
listen to
ahead.
me now.
Okay,
All right?
Get your
as long
platform,
as you're
I
not going
promise.
to.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. I do not like Android Auto. I feel like it is not very well optimized from a UI perspective for people that are driving. CarPlay is more simplistic, but I feel like it gets the job done. I like it better than Android Auto personally. Apple or Siri, whatever it's called, there's going to be wins and losses, in my opinion.
Yep.
So
Do you like CarPlay because you have a Tesla with a giant display that
It
can?
doesn't even use
Tesla doesn't
CarPlay.
even have
Oh,
CarPlay.
It's
it
its
doesn't?
own
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, okay.
I used to use CarPlay exclusively, but not anymore.
I do now on the Bolt, and it works fine. You know, it's
Is CarPlay the integrated system onto the in there?
yeah.
You don't use your car. You don't
I
have
a
to mount your
wireless.
phone.
I have a wireless dongle, and I get in and turn it on, and it hooks up, and I can, you
Yeah.
know, Apple Music or Audible or make a phone call. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
Doesn't- it
use
don't-
I don't use the voice stuff though. I just use the touchscreen. So I'll just
I
look
use the
down
voice stuff, so
and hit phone.
So the
and
question
hit
is
the address.
Is he got like a display like that, or is he just mounting his phone and using it that way?
Good question.
He says Android Auto.
If he's
Okay.
using Android Auto right now, he probably has a display on it. Then.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Okay.
it's a head.
I freaking so I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I freaking love CarPlay. I've always loved CarPlay.
It's fine.
And I think it's great. I think I wish every car I had it, and I'd be very happy. I think Siri, is Siri perfect? Of course not. But 9 times out of 10, you say, hey, so here's the thing I'm doing right now. So in my current car, my daily commuter that sucks and I hate, but it's a great little car. It was cheap. It only has Bluetooth. And right now the Bluetooth music works, but everything else doesn't work because it comes out the center channel. The center channel is blown. So I have to take phone calls on the speaker. So I'll say, hey, Siri, call James Jensen on speakerphone. And it works just fine. Every time.
Did your
Like, it's
phone
just-
did your phone just call him right now?
You know what? That's a good question. No. It was in my pocket. But it very well could have, because it would have worked. So I think the voice commands for doing basic things on the phone work without a problem, right?
Yeah.
The situation described in the email where it's like, call person.
No.
Even texting works fine. Hey, Siri, text wife, which thing do you want tonight for the deal?
Is that worth switching over just for
Of course
that?
it is. Anytime anybody can
I don't
switch over
know.
to Apple, I think it's absolutely worth it.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm
They
asking
are both
the person
extremely
right in.
mature platforms at this point, and I think Apple's going to do everything you want it to, just in a different way that will probably frustrate you to no end for the first couple of
Yeah.
months.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think you'd be happy with either one, assuming
think
you can solve the problem with Google or
I think the problem is Bixby and the Samsung UI. It's always been the Samsung UI. If you got rid of that, I'd be interested to see how that worked out.
I hate
Because
that that's even a
with
thing
the-
you talk about.
with the
This whole
Pixel-
conversation topic sucks.
The
Why is the
Pixel-
UI different depending on Samsung versus
because
Pixel?
they
That's
need to
stupid.
make because Android's open source and they have to make a way to differentiate themselves across the brand. Google keeps the purest version of Google for itself.
Right.
And so
That-
the
and
Pixel
that's-
phones
Well,
the
that'll
Pixel
run
phones
now.
work the Pixel phones work better
It
with
doesn't-
stuff
Google,
like that.
Google doesn't keep the purest version. It hands that same version over to Samsung.
No.
Samsung
Google's
has
version
the
Oh,
is
yeah.
just as
I don't-
same
customized as
exact,
Goo-
and then
as
Samsung
Samsung's
sits
version.
there
No.
and pokes at it and changes it.
Samsung's the one that puts their UI over the top of it
Right,
with all
but
their
I'm saying
ads and all their
it
Bixby
Well,
and all
let's
their
be-
Samsung
It's
garbage.
Let's be
darts.
clear, guys. AOSP Android, which is the open source version of Android, is very different than Google's version of Android now. There is
True.
no standard
That's
Google
true.
version of Android that Google just hands over to people.
That
It's
is true.
It's different.
They have customized it.
Yeah.
Either
So,
way,
but-
that to me has always been the nail in the coffin for
Yeah.
Android. Like I don't want Android. That to me is
Well,
the
and
one
that's-
reason why I will never switch to Android.
Oh please,
hate
the
that.
one reason. There's
And not only that, but they weren't getting updates fast enough, right?
That's the
Right.
that's the
That's
fix with
one
the
of the-
Pixel. Pixel gets them immediately,
Right.
and
that's
for
one of the
7 years
reasons-
now, right?
Yeah, that's one of the
Supposedly,
reasons.
until
I
Google
went-
changes their mind.
Yeah,
That's
true.
one of the main reasons I went to Apple was because I was sick of waiting a year plus
Yeah,
for
to get
OS updates.
Yep.
And I switched before Pixel was really, worth it to try out yet. I think I switched to Apple when Pixel was still on like Pixel 2 or
Pixel 2,
3.
yeah.
I wasn't really.
They weren't that
feeling
great.
it.
They've matured a lot now. The 7 Pro has been a
Now-
fantastic phone.
That being said, I think Jaren's pretty dead on. You're gonna either hate the AI in Samsung and stick with it because it has the other things you like, or you're gonna switch to iPhone and enjoy the better AI, but then deal with a lot of the things that you don't like. on the Apple
Uncomfortable,
ecosystem.
an uncomfortable eco change.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable because you knew how to do it before,
Yep.
and you know it has the same functionality,
Right.
but you have
gotta
to
figure out
now.
how to
It's
do it.
now it's like switching the X and the Y buttons around your controller.
Yeah,
and you're like,
Nintendo.
yeah,
The
seriously.
one other thing I'll say is there will be the more embedded with Apple you get, the more magical moments you'll have. So, for example, the
Whoa.
emailer, I can't remember the name,
Settle
Pretty-
down.
Sounds like a commercial.
mentioned that they have an Apple TV, right? There's a bunch of things you get with an Apple phone and an Apple TV that you don't with Android, right? So, for example, anytime you go to a search bar, my phone pops up and says, "Hey, do you want to use your keyboard instead of the damn remote?" Of course I do, every time, right? It's just a simple little thing that makes your life better because
Doesn't
the
Android have
Apple
an Apple
integration.
TV app? Does Android have an Apple TV app?
I don't know.
I don't know, but the fact that it's like
Doesn't
built
seem
in,
like
it
they
knows
would.
when I go to the search bar, I can use my phone's keyboard instead of that, right? All kinds of cool stuff like that. Casting, screen sharing, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff with Apple and the Apple TV is so much easier.
My favorite
with an
thing
iPhone.
about that is it connects to my password vault. So if I need to log into anything
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Apple, I
Mhm.
hit the
Yep.
button, it goes to my
Oh, yeah,
phone,
that-
and then I just go straight through the process like I would sign into something on my phone. It just auto-populates
That
the
is
password
one of
and
the
everything.
glories of having
bumps
it
it up
be
to the
all in the
TV.
ecosystem.
Good to go. I don't have to sit there and chicken peck through each
Yep.
letter to put the password in and then hope I got it right and then have to do it again. And
Yep.
anyway,
And that's just one of many things that you're gonna get.
but yeah, I don't envy your choice right now. You're
Listen,
in
bud,
for hurt
us-
either way. It's just
You and
do you want to
listen,
which way
Johnny,
do you
or
wanna
was
go?
it? Is it Johnny? What's his name? Johnny? John? Jemmy's thingy?
Jared?
Jared,
that's
that's
a
you,
question
bud.
for you.
No, I like
Okay.
Owen. Just go on here. I didn't say his name for what it's worth. His name is Daniel.
Daniel.
You were
Thank
so
you.
close, Owen.
Daniel, listen. Don't go over to Apple. just try a Pixel. If you hate it. I've had Pixel. The Google AI has been fantastic. It calls. I feel like it will work better with Android Auto. I don't have it ever. I do it all the time, and it doesn't ever go and just go back like the Bixby and Samsung's UI does.
But
So-
he's not using Bixby. He's using Gemini.
Yeah, 'cause they
Gemini-
baked
but-
Gemini into
Yeah, but it's garbage on Samsung.
it's the same thing.
I don't think it is. And
I
I don't.
would
You don't
say
need to use. And you don't need to use Gemini. You just ask. You just say, "Hey Google," and it does the thing.
Yeah, here's what I would say. Give it a shot. Go to Apple, get an iPhone, and then
Yeah.
once you've done it for a while, you'll probably realize maybe I want to try out an iPad instead of a Samsung tablet. And that's when you really start to see
And it's not wrong. You're not wrong. Dang
the
it.
iPad absolutely destroys any Android tablet out there. And then, at that point you'll be just like me. You'll have
Did
started
they-
with one thing and all of a
Yep.
sudden you've got a phone, you've got the AirPods, you've got the Apple Watch, and you're looking at yourself in the mirror going, how did this happen to
Yep.
me?
Then they send you the official shill certification.
Yeah, you got it.
Then at the very top, at the peak, they send you a mask of Lando to wear. That
true.
just says
I
But your
threw
data
that-
will be private.
I threw that right in the fireplace when they
Which is
sent me my
unfortunate
Lando
because it's such a
mask.
good mask too.
It's such a
I
good
spent a
mask.
lot of time with Apple on that partnership, Tony. and you just throw
I
it
wish-
away.
I
I
would
kept
spend
that
a
Lando
fraction
mask
of-
for
I wish you'd spend
fun things.
a fraction of that time.
Little cosplay.
It's a compliment for me, Jaron.
Lando, I wish you'd spend a fraction of that time sending out the holiday cards.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Is it too late? I'm going to send a
They're
Slido poll
becoming
to our,
Valentine's cards very quickly.
I'm going to send a Slido poll to our Patreon, to our patrons to
Guess
see
what?
if they want, because I might put some hearts in the background.
Now,
That's what I was gonna
Valentine's Day
do.
is only 10 days away. These are definitely St. Patrick's Day cards. I can tell you that if they go.
Oh, I could probably
So,
smudge the
I
smiles and to make
do-
them look drunk.
I do want to mention something else here, real quick. So, so I want to have to discussed on trading phones. I'm still down for trading phones.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I need it too much I need it to work.
Can you not
'Cause
work on an Apple phone?
I would probably get in big trouble because I'd need to respond to something immediately, and I would have to learn how what I
Open the
use.
text app.
I use my
Click
phone
this
for
icon.
work.
Select
It's
email.
not how it works. How do you create an
Keyboard.
SSH? How do you create an SSH tunnel or download a VPN to connect into the office on your phone to pretend like you're at work, Jaron?
Download the app.
You download the VPN app on your phone and do
No,
the
that's
thing.
so much learning. I already learned
It's
that once, and I
super
set it
easy.
up. I already did
all
that
right.
once.
Let's move along. We're not going to reach a conclusion on this
No.
topic tonight.
All I'm saying is I'm down, Owen. That's it. I'll do it. Whenever
I
you're
bet
ready.
you're down. I bet you are.
Any more emails?
Nope.
All right, sounds
Oh.
good. Okay, let's talk about Superb Owl watching info. We can't say what it really is because
You
we don't
can't
have
say
the
that?
rights.
Why not?
Nope. It's, you check it out. You have to buy the rights to say the correct Superb Owl name.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why always when you see advertisements, it says things like the big game and that kind of thing because you have to have rights.
No way.
100%.
Can you say
Owen is
superb owl in
incensed.
marketing? No, you cannot say superb owl in marketing unless you have a license from the NFL.
Told you. Anyway, speaking of that though, big game this Sunday. I don't care, but they usually have some interesting commercials and or TV movie trailers.
Movie trailers.
It's
What
not
about
the
the
World Series,
halftime
that's
show?
for sure.
Halftime show? Are they going to have some dronage? I don't know if they do that anymore.
Maybe. I can't remember who's performing. That's how much I don't
It's
care.
the Apple Music halftime show that I know.
Oh, it's not Pepsi anymore. Has it not
It's
been
sponsored
Pepsi
by
for
Apple
a while?
Music.
Poor Pepsi.
All right. The point I have in bringing this up though is how to watch it this year because for the first time ever there will be a free streaming platform.
Oh, that's
streaming it
amazing.
legally. So you can either watch it over broadcast on Fox or using the Fox app, or Tubi is going to be live
No
streaming.
way.
Tubi.
So is there a
Tubi.
Tubi app on the Apple TV?
Yep.
Rock on.
Tubi?
Let's go.
To be or not
And
to be?
Tubi.
Tubi, I can't believe Tubi survived. They felt like a scammy thing at first
They're
for
still
many
going
years, and
strong.
they're
They-
just
They got enough money to
the
stream
power.
Super Bowl.
It must be the power of partnerships because they got
Gotta be.
partnership to get a lot of on the Roku devices by default, and so they just
And
like
they
Jaron,
are-
they just use it because it's there.
They are pledging 4K stream.
Wow.
So it might actually be the best video quality to watch because
Free of charge.
free of charge because
I'm
over
getting
the air
Silicon Valley vibes here, where they're promising a 4K stream. It's going to crash and burn miserably.
I'm really wondering if that's going to happen if they've got too much hype and Tubi will just fail that day.
Well, especially if it gets picked up like on an gadget like this, like they're probably like, yeah, we can handle, I don't know, 20, 30,000 people. And then it gets out on Tubi or gets out now everybody's like, well, I'm not going to pay for my
so
weekly free trial to YouTube TV.
exactly because that's your other options if you want to stream it would be like Hulu TV, YouTube
yeah,
TV, things
yeah.
like
Did you
that.
just say Hulu TV?
Hulu.
Oh, I
You've
thought
been
you said
watching a lot of
Hulu.
Silicon Valley, haven't you?
Freaking love that show.
It's a great show. But yeah, the also it is noted in this article, Tubi is actually owned by Fox, so
Oh,
that's
why
part of
it
why
is.
they're able to score
I
this
see.
because Fox already has the rights.
I see.
to-
Philadelphia
Hopefully they're-
Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs, by the way.
Don't
So
even
he-
start with the conspiracy theories. I think it's all right that the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. They should not be there by any measure. The refs are on their side. It's all conspiracy, and I hate it.
Is that how most sports are?
Yeah, what-
Maybe, but I think the NFL is really obviously scripted.
I would say
Oh,
it
it's
might
scripted.
be less than NBA though.
Yeah, a little.
The NBA is
Perchance.
bad.
Baseball's pure. I'm sure it's not affected at all.
Oh, come on now. What a bunch of crap that is.
I
You-
like
all
that
right.
in baseball. I like that in baseball. There's still like a small chance people could be corking their bats and cheating with sticky stuff on their hands, and they're still trying to figure it out. Like there was this one guy just touching this one part of his ear. It's
Yep.
like a nervous tick, but he was actually getting the glue on his
Get the
hands
sticky
and stuff.
stuff.
Oh man, that stuff thrills me. Where I'm like, oh yeah, cheat.
They make
I want to see if you can get caught.
there's a thing to make the ball sticky. The pitcher.
Your hand
Yes.
sticky. If your hand has
I
more
heard of
friction, you get
greasy.
higher.
Like I've heard
No.
of
Spin
throwing
rates.
them
Now you
grease
fi-
balls.
with the stick, you get a faster spin rate.
Oh,
And,
And
the more spin
they're
rate, the
more
more the
English
ball can
on it.
move.
okay, I got you.
And the pitchers were doing really well. So it was legal there for a minute,
Mm.
but now it's not.
No, it's not.
All right, moving along. Let's talk about. Lando. We talked about this last week. The Pebble is back, and that was the exact headline I used as well. Pebble is back, baby.
No, that's the one I used. I copied and pasted it and stole it.
So
okay.
yeah, I
There
may
you
have
go.
skipped through part of that show.
It shows
in between.
delete.
Pebble is back,
listening
baby.
to I was listening to the whole enchilada show, and I'm like, I want to get an in between. So I went skip. I'll go back and listen to Helpdesk.
And you
I
never
did
did.
not.
All right, but you do have a story here about salami satellites.
Yeah, so this is
No,
actually a local
origami.
story for
Origami.
us Utah folks. This is a group of BYU engineers have taken inspiration from origami to help satellites be more compact, and then they get it in a space they defold and deploy into larger things.
Unfold is the word you're looking for.
Defold? What's wrong with that? Did you understand what I meant?
In the origami world, it's default, Tony.
It's not
Look
a
it up.
word.
It
Dude,
is a word.
I
Dude,
think
because I
it's
said
ancient.
it, and you
It's an-
understood it.
It's an ancient word, defold, my guy.
Thank you. Oh, and I appreciate it when you're on my side. I really
know,
do, bud.
I think
You know,
I saw
earlier today,
this.
the world was in contention, right? We were on opposite sides of the Apple Android debate there for a second. Didn't
But-
like it, but we're on the same side again, and I like it. Thank
I
you.
am a fair weather, fickle friend, my guy.
Yep. So the biggest
triple
challenge
F.
was designing hinges that could withstand harsh space environments. The
Yeah.
engineers used magnetic attraction to create bistable, I don't know what that means, hinges that require energy to separate.
Bistable.
Hmm?
Is
That's
it
the word I'm reading.
bistable, maybe?
Bistable. That's the word.
Just gonna guess.
Good job, Tony.
'Cause
So durable
other one is
hinges.
monostability, the other word on there.
Yep. So the
Um,
foldable antennas could enhance satellite systems by providing more efficient stowage and deployment capabilities.
That's kind of how the James Webb Telescope went out. Went out
Yep.
a lot smaller and expanded out to the big.
They
so
were.
the-
They were.
the-
Remember how nervous they were? They're like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't know if this
There's
next
like
section's going to
40
unfold.
There was like 42 single points of failure on that.
Yeah.
That it had
That's
to work
crazy.
perfectly, or else, oh well, there it
Yeah,
goes.
so it sounds like the big thing here, at least from what I gathered from the article, is it's all about them hinges
Yeah.
and
So
the new
the
hinges they use.
the bistable hinges means it would require energy energy input to separate the magnets. So instead of it just being a click, you have to actually force them apart using energy. So that's what makes them. That's what makes it able to stand up to the rigors of space.
So if this is what I think it is, about a year and a half ago, they had a version of this that you could print on your 3D printer and see how it would fold and unfold.
Yeah.
I tried it and it didn't work for me.
Didn't work out.
The video
Nope.
here makes us, go click on the show notes, go watch the video and the article. The YouTube video put out by BYU
That's
is actually
smooth.
really cool to watch.
Yeah, that's really neat.
So I wish there's a way we could do that visually, but there's not. So just go watch it. I promise. It's worth your time.
All right, very cool. Okay, we got an update on crystal memory storage.
Ooh, Superman time.
Superman time. They have continued to build this out, and according to where they're at right now, they call it eternal 5D memory crystals.
I like that. Okay.
And the 5D sounds really cool, but it's not quite as cool as it sounds because you think it like exists in 5 dimensions. But
Yeah, it sounds
what
like
it
Star
means-
Trek.
Yeah, what it actually means is there's like 3 vertical and 2 horizontal aspects to each of the things. But
So I clicked on
saying
this-
5D.
I clicked on the story fully expecting like a giant typical crystal that goes up like a foot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it looks like
It's
a
a flat-
freaking microchip.
Yeah. But what's cool about
The
these,
smart rock.
360 terabytes of storage in one crystal, and it will hold that storage, the storage integrity for, quote, billions of years.
Wow.
14 billion.
They
Yeah.
don't know that. They
How
need
could
to
they test it?
Yeah, I don't know
Well,
how.
Well,
they'd ever
they
test
better
it,
put one on the
obviously,
shelf. They
but-
better put one on the shelf right now.
I know, start now.
Better start that. Best time to test a 14 billion year shelf life is right now.
Is 14
14 billion years ago, but
Is
the
second
best
best.
time?
Yeah, that's right.
Right
Right,
now.
now. Better put that on the shelf, guys.
So it is a silica material, mostly based in quartz, and yeah, it's freaking cool. Did I say what? 360 terabytes of data per crystal,
that's
which
a lot
is enough to hold a full human genome, right? So what they're
Yeah.
saying about this is you could write a human genome on a crystal, put it on a shelf, and at any time in the future, if the technology
You can
becomes
pull
available,
from that era.
you could pull from that and make that person. Obviously
Ooh.
they wouldn't have the, memories and whatnot of
So-
the person.
so
but it would
this
be a
works out
it would
better.
Be an identical biological version of that
So
person.
this sounds like it has more traction than the cryo freezing thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if we find a way to upload memories, like mind, like map a
about it.
brain, and then we can just recreate a body, we could go all carbon. What's that? Altered carbon level, right? This like
And-
minds on a disc.
Exactly. And the other thing about that too is it applies also to animals and plants. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extinction event, like you could
Yep.
extinction preservation and stuff.
Yep, exactly.
Ugh.
So
It's the human race disaster recovery plan.
that's right. Where's our DR? It's in that crystal right there.
Where's the Earth's What is the Earth's DR program? DR process here.
If anything, it should be basically, put everything on the crystals and then ship them to the moon and put them on the moon where we can't hurt them.
Yeah, they got to
So-
go to those frozen seed vaults that we have, like up in Norway
or
or
whatever. Yeah.
This reminds me of an Instagram reel I saw. The guy's like, us humans, we went and dug up rocks. And we melted them down to make other rocks and combined them with other rocks. And we powered them. And we put them in data centers, and now they're thinking rocks. And I'm like, that's pretty
Very
accurate. Just
not
computers are just
wrong,
thinking
actually.
rocks.
Yep.
I'm like,
still just.
so
still
I
just
told my boss,
mess
I'm
with
like, I'm
rocks.
going to go update my LinkedIn and be the keeper of the smart rocks for UVU.
Nice.
All right. Let's jump over here to an update on DeepSeek.
Yeah, we kind of alluded to this when we first talked about DeepSeek, how it may not be as cheap as everyone says. And I think we even mentioned this that day, but they ended up using quite a few resources to train up their first models, which then trained DeepSeek. They invested $1.6 billion in 50,000 NVIDIA Hopper GPUs.
It's a big investigation going on right now in Singapore about how if they bypassed trade or sanctions. or
Trade restrictions.
Yeah. Yep. What I heard was they could have bought them before the trade restrictions were in place.
It's possible.
Because Hopper isn't the latest and greatest, is it?
No, Blackwell is the latest and greatest, but
No,
before
before that,
Blackwell
I
was
mean.
Lovelace,
Yeah. So,
if I remember.
yeah. AI, I don't know. It costs money.
Yeah.
That's a lesson to be learned here,
it's
guys.
terribly impactful and harmful to the environment. That's for damn sure.
So-
Well,
At
I
least it's
think,
better
well,
than crypto.
That's I would
OpenAI,
be-
I think OpenAI had some egg on their face here because they were basically told, "You've been overcharging everybody. We could be doing it for cheaper," and they went, "We are not profitable. We are losing money doing what we're doing. So I would like to see the receipts."
Well, and here's the thing about that. I think this investigation is splitting hairs a little bit because it did cost that much to make the AI and train the AI that built this other one, right? Or that helped build this other one.
Distilled
Now-
information, right?
Now, if you take the actual creation of the DeepSeek R1, and actually look at what it costs to do that one from start to finish, it probably is a lot closer to that number they touted of like 6 million or something.
Oh,
like
for
that.
sure.
If you're like a brand new general contractor or something, you build your first house and then you build like houses down the line. Do you have to include the cost of your first house?
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it feels like splitting hairs, and I'm
There's billions
believe
in
me, I'm
market
not
share,
trying to-
though.
I'm not trying
So-
to defend them, but it does. It feels like they're splitting hairs at this point, because whether or not it costs what it cost, the white paper shows that it is a more efficient.
If you
AI
have
to run.
previously trained models that can give the newer model distilled training
No, that's the point
information.
though. Is the white paper isn't about how they got to that AI.
Right.
It's about that AI itself. This is our model. You use it, and it is more efficient with tokens and all the
True.
all the things like that. And so it doesn't really take away from that. I'm sure.
I feel like they have to. Project Stargate. So this is hugely disruptive to Project Stargate. If you guys remember the $500 billion project where OpenAI and Microsoft and Elon Musk and Trump
No,
are all.
they didn't
Oh, that's
include
that's
Musk.
right. They didn't. They
That's why I
snubbed
don't
him on
like it.
purpose. But they're pledging 500 billion in infrastructure, right? And that's why when the market crashed, and we talked about this last week, it was impactful all the way down the line when this came out, because it affected Nvidia, which cascaded down all the way to construction level stuff. The market really didn't react well. But there's billions in market share. And so, yeah, I think they have to split hairs here just to try and they're trying to keep that on the rails. They're trying to keep this infrastructure thing on
I
the
can see
rails.
that.
They don't want their
But-
investors to run and panic, which there was hints that they might be
It's
looking
so,
at this DeepSeek stuff.
It's so weird to me how short-sighted they are when this stuff happens, though, because it's like, okay, well, first of all, this is open source, so they can use it in the
Yeah.
new builds, right? They can integrate it if they want
Yep.
to. And secondly, just because it's cheaper to use doesn't mean you have to use less. It means you use the same amount and do it 10 times faster.
Yeah.
Or
It was it feels like an ego thing, because OpenAI
it
immediately
definitely can
started
feel like an ego thing for sure.
OpenAI immediately started casting like shade on them, being like throwing
Yeah.
shade, being like, we think they used our models, and like there was a bunch of words being bandied about back and forth, and it's OpenAI, it's open source though, and they
Yep.
went through it, and it's like, look, don't hate it,
works.
don't hate it, integrate it, like
Exactly.
just bring it in.
Yep.
I'm gonna use that as the phrase for me
Don't
from now
hate,
on.
integrate.
That's right.
That's
I
copyrighted
bet that's
by Owen.
I bet that's the Borg's catchphase in this millennia. You know,
It's not
instead
resistance
of
is futile.
it's
It's
no,
don't
it's just
hate, integrate.
yeah, don't hate, integrate.
So good.
Well, if anything, that's the
Take
title
that
of
to the Geek Show.
So
Yeah,
Don't hate, integrate. It's a
hate,
good title.
integrate. All right. Also, switching gears, I should say, found some cool headphones.
Well, of course you did.
Yeah, I did. But these are cool not for what I usually say things are cool for. These are over-the-ear headphones, like the full-on headset.
okay. So
But
they got
what-
some bigger drivers and stuff.
What makes these cool is they have actual vacuum tubes
Oh, like the old school amplifiers and
in
stuff.
in the wireless headsets.
Ooh, that just makes me nervous. I'll break it.
So yeah, hopefully they're pretty robust. But these
Did you
vacuum
buy them?
tubes, no, they're not out for sale yet, and I probably won't because I think what did it say they were going to cost, like $750 or something?
Oof.
$800, $799.
We'll
Says
find
someone who
ourselves
spends $2,000 on a graphics card.
Well, that's a graphics card.
it's a
not
graphics
headphones.
card. It's not going to
But you
improve.
love headphones just as much, if not more than graphic cards, I would
No,
say.
not
I
even
think
close,
so.
buddy.
No,
There's
Amount-
no
amount of-
there's
Owen
there's
knows
no
me.
there's no megapixel
that's right.
representation with headphones. You can't
I need
qualify.
all them
quantify that.
megapixels. But yeah, so this uses a
Interesting.
little vacuum tube called a, where did it go? Gosh dang it, triode vacuum tube.
So
And
does it
as
sound like
they're-
a Dyson when you turn them on?
Well, so this vacuum tube's very, very small, and no, it's not a vacuum. It just means there's no air inside the tube.
Yeah, it's under
Duh.
vacuum.
Oh, Jaron.
Jeez.
Oh, right.
Jeez. But supposedly this should behave like old vacuum tube amplifiers, and you get a warmer sound out of the headphones versus something that's only digital. So, yeah, it's the other thing that's going to be interesting about this is to see how long the battery life is on these, because they are wireless. You can use them wired, but they are wireless, because traditionally vacuum tubes use quite a bit more power than
They're hot too.
than digital pieces. So yeah, I just thought it looked pretty cool. I don't think I'll be getting one, being it's $7.99.
Maybe we'll come into a Bitcoin wallet or something that we found. You know,
Owen, don't.
Not
I can't
not,
take
not
it.
Tony.
Don't do it. If anything, I'll lose one that I didn't even know I had. But I don't know, if I could find these on sale for half price someday, maybe jump on that.
tree fitty.
Tree fitty,
$800.
400.
It says 800.
I know, if I could find it half off for 400 at some point, I'd think about buying one seriously.
Yeah, the math checks out. Good job.
Thank you. Yep.
Right. Thank you, Jaron. Accountant.
All right, and I think we're gonna end on. Well, we got two stories here, but Jaron has a review for a air duster.
Remember when we talked about air dusters months ago, and you guys mocked me mercilessly?
Yeah,
Because
yours
air
is
dusters
poopy.
sucks.
That's
They
what
suck.
this review is for an
Yes.
air duster.
I got a new one to totally redeem myself.
Oh.
All right,
Is it
so-
good? Give me the PSI.
Oh, it's freaking awesome. So my old one, I'm showing it on YouTube here.
I have this. I had the same. By the way.
This one, I don't even know what it's called, but it's more like a blow dryer. It sucks and not a good way. It blows in not a
blows.
good way. I upgraded to what's called the Wolfbox MF100.
Because I know when I think of wolves, I think of boxes. Wolf
Look
got
how
a
much smaller it
smaller.
is.
It's
Yeah.
so much
smaller.
more high pressure at the output because
Way
of the smaller tip.
smaller. So I mean, the ultimate thing you want to know is, does it push out more air?
Yeah.
Boy, howdy does it. Holy cow.
Need some numbers. Back it up, please. Any data.
Turn it on your face and let us see it flowing through
Okay,
your
here we go.
hair.
It's and you
It's
can hear
how loud is it? It's loud, right?
you can hear how loud it is. So I'm gonna put my mic away for a little bit.
first.
This is-
Are you
Here
gonna? Are you
is
gonna? Are you,
the old one.
Old
okay.
one. Is that max?
Oh, that's not blowing hard at all.
yeah, that's.
I can just
exhaust
hear.
noise.
Oh, that's better.
Oh, okay. A little
Still
better.
though,
it's
it's not going to give you. It's not going to blow out the dust under the keys of your keyboard.
I don't know. Look at his face. It's distorting
So,
it.
yeah, you can see the fat in my face kind
I was
of
gonna say that's just
indent.
'cause
You know.
he's got chubby cheeks.
So here's the new one. Let me turn it
This
on.
is riveting content.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my
So
God.
much more.
Is that full pressure? Is that is that full tilt right
Yeah, it is freaking awesome. So I tried it on my keyboard initially because you want to dust your keyboard, get all that junk stuff,
Of course.
gross stuff out. It's so strong it pushes down the keys on my keyboard, and I completely ruined a document I was working on.
That's
Did it
awesome.
did it just type help me?
Ouch! Ow! 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 ow.
So it's not only smaller, but a lot more powerful. It has 3 settings, 1, 2, and 3. On 1 and 2, you can just push the button and it'll default on. But on the third setting, you have to hold the button down because if you don't, it will just go everywhere because there's so much air coming out of it. But to me, it is a suitable air duster can replacement.
Okay.
It's pretty freaking amazing.
I
love
think
it.
it'd be cool if they came with an attachment that narrowed it down even further, so you could get a really tight airstream at the end.
Yeah, I wish it did have a narrower attachment. I don't know if that would actually make any difference though, or maybe
Well,
it'd
when
just
you-
be more
if
air
you-
resistance. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. It depends.
Wolfbox MF100.
Yeah, yep.
What are these going for?
It's pretty magical, and there are reviews of it on the web, on YouTube, Lando, if you want to get actual numbers. That's
I
how I
do.
found it.
Actually, I want them from you. I'm not going to put any effort into this myself.
Classic Lando.
Yeah.
But a lot more comfortable to hold, a lot more comfortable to use. The sound is a
Small-
little bit
small
higher
hands.
pitched, but the output you get is just so much better.
What
How
do they
much?
have it-
How much? How much?
I got it on sale on Amazon for $60. It's usually between $60 and $80 on Amazon.
That's not bad though. If you're thinking about all the cans of air you go through,
Currently,
pays for itself.
$89.99 with a 20% off coupon and a 10% off coupon
Yeah, there's always coupons.
on top of that.
Yeah.
So if I add it to the cart, let's see what we end up at.
But it comes with attachments to blow up inflatable things too, if that's your fancy.
Oh, neat! I need that
Yeah,
it
actually
is.
at the
It is
at
my
the
fancy.
beach. Have you ever
Yeah.
had to go to the beach and ugh?
Yeah, it's
then
What about
blow
balloons?
some-
We'll
yeah.
do like party balloons.
I
Oh, yeah.
guarantee it would do a party balloon.
yeah, probably. Yeah, a
Um,
bunch of different attachments. Comes with a fancy little bag. You can carry it in.
$62, $62.99 if you were to buy it today with the
Yeah, that's
the
pretty much
coops?
the price that I
coupons?
paid for it.
coupons. Yeah.
But I would rate my old one probably a 5 out of 10. This 8.
Easy.
What would give it
8.
2 more points? Sounded
Well,
perfect.
it
the way
fits
you
in
talked
his
about it.
it fits in his small hands. He said it's easier to hold.
So I'm
It just
saying,
needs
what else does
what could
else
push
does it
it?
need to do
What
to get?
what are you taking 2 points off for?
Yeah.
Because I want more pressure. It'll easily take off like the top layer of dust, but you know the kind of dust that's just kind of built into the furniture
Yeah.
that you haven't touched in a long time. You have to take a wet rag to it. It won't get rid of that.
Yeah.
Built-in dust. That's awesome.
So if you're comparing this to an air can duster, so an air can duster being the
I
top
don't think
10
an air can duster
level.
would do that either.
I don't think it would either.
Yeah.
But I think the air can duster, you get slightly more air out of it. But it's
Yeah.
I think at this point it's negligible, and it's a good product. I would totally recommend it.
Nice.
For sure.
All right, and last but not least, this is one that's been sitting in our queue for a little bit. It's a battery. It's a BS segment. Battery made from fungus.
Ooh, fungus. Sorry. Have you not?
Yeah, space
sorry.
peanuts.
It's space penises apparently. Have you seen? So Jeremy Clarkson, the guy from Top Gear, has a show about farming, and he
Jeremy
raises
Clarkson.
mushrooms, and the people who give him those mushrooms are like, yeah, we think they might be spores from outer spaces, and they're spores from outer space is how we got fungus and mushrooms.
Oh, just in general. Okay.
Just in general, and they're like, yeah, the mushrooms are the reproductive organs of the fungi. He's like, oh, so they're space penises. It's pretty funny. Mushrooms.
So yeah, this one is basically you 3D print a matrix for it, and then you expose it to this fungus, right? And the fungus grows on this little coin matrix looking thing, and it is fed with sugar, just some basic sugar, carbohydrates, and generates a very small amount of electricity, right? And the amount that it produces is between 300 and 600 millivolts for several days, delivering 3 to 20 UA. I don't know what UA is, some sort of amperage rating, I believe. Anyway, the point is they'd be good for running small devices outdoors, and then it would decompose safely when it's done. It is encased in beeswax, power things like small sensors to monitor your temperature, light.
I could
humidity.
maybe see this for environmental stuff where they're tagging animals, maybe
That would be probably good.
where they fall
idea.
off after 7 days.
Yep.
Because I just can't. Farmers going out and changing sensors every 7 days? I don't think so.
But the other cool thing about this is they're shelf stable. So basically you store it in a dried state and then activate them on location when you want it by just adding some water and nutrients to it.
Oh, okay.
and then it
That's cool because then you can create a ton of them.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, kind of neat that BS right there. All right. Well, that is the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for making it this far and downloading us. But before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers. Patreon.com/HelpDeskArcade. Lando, the founder of The In-Between, is going to tell us what that Patreon stuff is all about.
Yeah. So if you've heard by now, we're gonna keep this short and sweet. Pay us $1, super secret Discord channel, the whole enchilada. Unique Patreon feed for both shows, early ad free, with the third bonus show called The In-Between. It's personally my favorite show as I founded it. We play fun games, we do fun activities, we talk about one or more spicy things. Sometimes we have personal stories from our personal lives. It's The In-Between and it's great. So that's awesome. For $6, Jaren gets to say whatever you want him to say, and it's great.
I
So
love
be sure
this
to
part
go.
so much.
Be sure to if you're on the $6 tier, I want you guys really to push the boundaries of what Jaren will and won't say. So please work on that. Jaren, do your thing.
Hey, thank you to David Roshinsky, Interrupting Cow, Aaron Faulkner, Connor Keesaw, and a Twinkie Wiener Sandwich.
Yeah.
I was
So
supposed to say that like Weird Al, but oh well. Thanks to Bubba Beauregard, Jason Eatman. Special thanks to our patron saint Elon Musk.
Oh, boo.
Oh,
Boo, Twyman.
Come
Get out
on,
of here.
Twyman. Get that out of here.
Hello, governor. Be the 8-year-old cheerleader so-and-so. What's her face? The ugly one?
ugly
Teen Girl
one.
Squad.
Yeah, Teen Girl Squad. Kyle, Lando is the Patreon simp, smart fart, Tony the Excel, and Power Apps nerd. Travis Johnson. Whoa, what was that? Travis Johnson says buy arcade Helpdesk stickers at Pyman Graphics on Etsy. There, it's shorter. Are you happy now, Lando?
Of course
Jeremy?
I am. It's still very long, though.
No name, no color. Kesslo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz. The in-between rating plus 20. Yo, VIP, let's kick it. Drop that 0 and get with the hero. DP, Brother Blando, Elizabeth Chalcodium only wishes he was cool as Lang. Wesley,
I do.
name generated by ChatGPT. Stuart Lloyd, everyone has an excuse, but only the guilty use it. And finally, so-and-so.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are friggin' awesome. Well, that's it. We're going to go do some other recordings, so check that out. Arcade, the in-between, if you're a Patreon backer. But we're done here for the help desk. Lando, why don't you take us out?
You know, for the built-in dirt, you got to use a rag. You can't use the air blower like you may think you can. Be an end user.